And
Wow, No Life had a really good fight. Oh.
Yeah, apparently Fiesel ran to the Discord glitch.
Oh.
So we've been commentating for a while without anyone being able to hear us.
Sweet! Awesome. I was like, who's this new voice that I'm hearing?
I know.
I feel like I recognize that voice.
Okay, so basically the first 20-30 minutes of Metroid Fusion is more text and cutscenes than gameplay.
Yeah, this Metroid Fusion is generally considered to be
The worst one? Yeah.
actually more so than almost all of them. But it's especially handholdy towards the start. You pretty much every single time you cross a nav room almost, at the very beginning of the game, it makes you talk to Adam.
It looks like KirbymastaH and Metroidmaster both grabbed the main deck missile for safety. So.
Yep, it's like the basic strategy for Sector 1 is don't get hit.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then the reason for that is when you're at full health, every time you kill an enemy, it'll spawn an X parasite. It can be either yellow, green, or red. Red gives
very rare.
Yeah, red is very rare, but that gives you, I think it's 500 energy and quite a few missiles. And then for the purpose of an 80% run, that's a full refill. Since we're never going to see enough for it to not fill it up completely.
Yeah.
And then yellow, fill up your health, and then green, fill up your missiles. If you're at if you're full on either energy or missiles and not the other, every kill is guaranteed to give you the other one or a red X.
Pretty much. The red X is very rare, though. It's based on a frame roll, and I think it's every 1 in 1,000 frames. So you have to be extremely lucky to get it. Although there are some enemies in the game that are predisposed to higher drop rates of a red X, like space pirates and the Idors, which always drop red X's.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times you might see a different form of an enemy that's stronger than the other ones, and generally they'll drop a red X.
Right, like how the space pirates, for some reason, only take one missile, one regular missile in Sector 1, but then take 3 ice missiles in the Yakuza Gauntlet, like 40 minutes later. Which, you know, makes sense. Oh, wow, Kirby got the fast strat through that room as well, for the Hornwood room.
Yeah, actually, speaking of the space pirates you were talking about, that's one of the very few enemies in this game that, whenever you encounter it later on, it has no real visual change, but it's just significantly tougher.
Yeah. The gold pirates are, they're significantly tougher in their own way. Looks like No Life option to get that E-Tank in Sector 1, whereas ExploudYourEar decided to pass right by it. A bit of a risky play for ExploudYourEar, but it's a really safe play for No Life.
Yep. And then the big reason he's grabbing that E-Tank is not necessarily for this sector, but then we'll talk more about it.
The rest of the run.
We'll talk more about it in Sector 2 once we get to it. But there's some enemies that do quite a bit of extra damage for early game stuff.
Yeah, a lot of the enemies, like, especially for being early on in the game, they do a lot of damage. So, I mean, even in the beginning of this game, you're never safe.
Yep, and then Metroid Fusion is notorious for
being the worst Metroid, yeah.
Just for having a lot for enemies, especially regular enemies, do so much damage to you in this run.
Metroidmaster just got a red X from the pirate.
That's nice.
Wall. So he's got a full refill going into the room, into the water room in Sector 1.
Yep, and then the thing that's kind of interesting in Fusion is the bosses tend to be the easier part of the game, as you saw in the last race where a few of the racers have died. Since they can there's a lot of ones that can do do over 100 damage, and there's not a single boss that does, except for the very last boss that does
even E-Tank per swipe.
Yeah.
So the boss these guys are about to fight is the Charge Beam Core X. And in order to kill it, you need to shoot 4 missiles into its eye whenever it's opened up. However, the game, well, whenever you're fighting a Corex, if you manage to land 2 missiles to hit it at the same frame, it will actually cause the Corex to take 2 hits instead of 1. So you can actually you can kill it significantly faster, in only half the amount of time if you land both of the double hits. For the Corexes that the bosses usually have, it's easier because you can hit them anywhere. So you can sort of like shoot 2 missiles and one in front, right behind each other, and it'll run into both of them. But with these Corexes, where you have to wait for the eye to be exposed and you can't damage them anywhere else, you basically have to make sure both of your missiles hit on the same frame. With the easiest way of doing that, to simply shoot one as you're going up and another one as you're falling.
Josh, please. The Metroidmaster is taking it very, very dangerously in that stabilizer room. What you can do in that stabilizer is you can take damage and use your invincibility frames to get inside and release the charge beam inside the stabilizer, killing it so you don't have to go all the way around. Originally, what they intend for you to do is go around, shoot out a block from the wall, and then wait for it while it's going up and down to shoot the missiles into it, but that's painfully slow.
Very slow. You have to also wait for it to get into position for that missile to hit it, too.
Exactly. So we can kind of circumvent that by just getting inside it like the runners will do with Mega X and a few other things in this game, in this run.
Yep. So with all the runners having charge beam right now, both the charge beam and the missile do roughly the same amount of damage. So we're going to be pretty much having charge beam going at all times.
You can see Kirby's stream on the RTMP. Alright, awesome.
And then right now, I have Kirby synced up with Metroidmaster using Livestreamer right now.
I'm really enjoying this this top race between No Life and Exploud. It's really tight.
I love it.
Yeah, both of them are right next to each other at the moment, pretty much.
I think they were
There's about a 5-second split.
Yeah, I'd say 5 seconds. I believe in the water room when at one point they were at the same frame pretty much. They were framed like screen for screen.
Okay, 7 seconds leaving the elevator cutscene, not monologue. Okay, so and then another thing with the charge beam now, so it you'll see it more so like if they hit the floor or something with the beam, but it's not actually one giant thing. It's actually 2 different parts. And then along with that,
Flare.
Yeah, and then you have that flare damage that does an extra 9 damage.
6.
6.
Yeah,
yep.
6 damage. So if both parts and the flare hit, you can do a total of 26 damage,
and then
which will be important for the boss in Sector 4.
It also becomes really important. Now you notice how we had to do 3 missiles in order to open each eye door. With that damage, it does just enough damage to let us launch up every eye door for the rest of the game. So most of the eye door RNG comes from the very first 2 bosses.
Yeah, from this point on, like, right now they have the charge beam allows them to one-shot all the eye doors. They have to stand up right next to it, however, in order to make sure a flare hits. But when they get their next missile upgrade, which will be in, like, I believe 2 sectors from now, they'll be able to one-shot the eye doors with missiles as well. So once they get that missile upgrade, you will never see an eye door take more than 1 shot for the rest of the game.
Alright, so those little red bugs on Zoros, they do 65 damage to you.
45.
45?
They do 45 damage, yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm getting my numbers mixed up today.
Hey man, you just had a race, it's all good.
Yep, and then the biggest reason that we saw nolife9face grab that extra E-tank is in order to try to get through a lot of these places without moving them, you're trying to get some really tight missile time and try to get 2 in before you get to them. And then
it's very easy to take too much damage and then just die early on, especially with all the Zoros crawling around in like their patterns.
And then we have a little bit of a Zora Hellway coming up right after bombs, where they can just be in your way and there's really nothing you can do to avoid them without taking damage.
Looks like everybody's all synced up now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Kirby's quite a bit ahead of Metroidmaster right now, but it's not too big of a gap. Nothing that little RNG and execution can't fix. And looks like on No Life and Exploud side, No Life has a maybe 5 to 10 second edge on Exploud right now, but
anything happens.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Coming up is a pretty big RNG heavy boss as well.
Yes, Zazby. I'm going to talk about a little bit about how Zazby works.
Okay, so then I'm going to wait till Kirby gets there first before we start talking.
Yeah, let's wait till someone gets to the boss first before we... Which Kirby is about to kill the Idor, so assuming he doesn't have too bad beam luck. And that's 2 beams at least.
He's been having, after the first door, he's been having some Idor troubles.
Yeah, so Zazby, what can happen? His basic attack pattern is he'll either jump and then immediately land, or he'll jump and be vulnerable for you to shoot him with a beam and a missile. You technically just need a charge shot with both parts connecting it, but we like to fire an extra missile just for safety to guarantee we finish off each round. And then doing anything beyond that does actually nothing, since each segment has its own little HP value. Then it resets your new value once you destroy a segment. So it's a 4-part boss. The first segment the minimum number of jumps it can do is 0. And then the next after that 1, and then after that 2. So the minimum that you can see is 3 jumps off of you, and then you can see as high as 12 jumps of just wasted jumps where it won't be vulnerable. So
and of course, if you don't do enough damage to take out one of the phases, so that can easily inflate that number as well.
Yeah. And then was that I didn't count the jumps.
I honestly didn't count it all. I was typing something in chat.
I want to say it was a 9 jump, or at least it was around there.
Kirby with the mediocre gameplay at this point. Doing so much better, but you know.
I think mediocre RNG might be a bit more accurate.
Yeah, totally. Like, No Life is just extending his lead over Exploud a little bit more.
It's not too obvious because of how well Kirby is moving, but he has definitely been hurting from RNG.
Yeah, definitely. Like all of our runners now have high jump and jump ball. They're going to be going to leave to go to Sector 4.
And then while Metroid Fusion doesn't have any real major secret breaks or anything, any attempts to actually do it by means of glitching or just
good luck
or any task execution, there's an event system that's extremely hard coded into it, where if you don't have a matching event value for where you're going to be, where you want to go, it's just not going to let you do it. But we're going to see a few minor things that are unintended, at least within some of the room strats coming up in Sector 4. Or rather than trying to climb up to a wall and bomb something, we're just going to jump in water anyway.
Oh, I'm reading through the Discord. We should probably do a roll call since we haven't done that yet.
Not a bad idea.
I'm Hercules Bench Press again.
JC87.
And I'm Next Gen Gamer 9.
Here are the voices that have been in your head.
And we
now you probably have 5 voices in your head.
Yep. And now we proudly support Odin in this commentary.
Odin. Hold on. Let me find him. He might be outside. I'll have him put his input at some point. You know what? I'll leave my door cracked. Because at some point he'll just walk right in as he usually does.
Okay, so something that we should probably cover pretty fast right now. You're seeing Kirby jump around, being able to shoot his charge beam while he's still spinning. Normally, if you let go of B or normally if you let go of B, or you press B if you don't have a beam charging, it'll break Samus's spin.
Yeah, but Kirby hacked his console, so he can do it regardless. He's cheating. Big cheater.
On a more serious note, whenever you have a beam that's fully charged and you have more than one missile in your inventory, whenever you hit the missile, pull the missile button down, the R button, it's going to release your beam without you breaking spin.
Oops.
Alright, so coming up on Kirby's stream is a fun boss called Ceres. He's
fun. That's a word.
It is a word.
One I wouldn't use to describe this boss, but a word in general.
Okay, so for the Ceres fight, as we mentioned before, the charge beam has the flare in the main part. Whenever you're fighting against Ceres, you want to get as close to him as possible while he's vulnerable, and hit him with both the flare and the charge shot. If you do this successfully, you only need 2 hits to kill Ceres and transform him into his core hits. However, after the first hit, he activates Speed Booster, and he's invincible until it cools down. So you have to wait, and his pattern is like, once he commits to a pattern, you'll know where he's going to go, but you don't know which pattern he's going to choose. So there's a bit of partial RNG there. But once you hit him the first time, and you figure out his pattern for the second time, you land the second hit, he should go into Core X if you did not miss.
Yep, so basically what we want to see for Ceres is, the first pattern is guaranteed every single time. So we can just hang out on that ladder, and then on the far left-hand side. And then Ceres can either go straight across, weave, or do an arc. Every time Ceres has a weave pattern, he's going to do a wide arc from one side of the screen to the other. And then every time Ceres does a straight across, you'll see Ceres do one of the smaller arcs in a very specific position. So whenever you hit Star Ceres and you get that first hit in from the left side, we don't really care what the first 2 patterns are during the Speed Booster phase, but we just hope to see either straight across or a weave on the 3rd pass through, so we can set up for the second hit.
It looked like No Life had a little trouble with the Core X as well, so it looks like Exploud gained a little time on him.
Yep, and then Ceres is probably one of the trickier doubles to get, since you're also trying to deal with not falling through the platforms below you.
Yeah, it's an interesting boss, to say the least. A lot of, especially in the speed run, a lot of tech that you can't really point out immediately that's going on, but it's
Now on the way out of Sector 4, you'll notice the runners, they're going to trigger this little event that causes water levels. And if they do this correctly and they store their Shine Spark correctly, they should walk up to those Speed Booster blocks and do an angled speed boost out of it. Once you do that, they will continue speed boosting and gain a speed boost until they end up in a room where there's a more fall slot for them to go to. From there, they want to do what's called a low height Shine Spark. You've already seen it once, right after they left Ceres. But basically what you do is you want to do a Shine Spark basically on the ground.
1 pixel above.
Yeah. So for these guys, the usual common strat is to, once you go into Morph Ball and you're falling from Morph Ball from a different height, you will bounce up. So the easy common strat is to wait for the Morph Ball to bounce up and then immediately speed booster and do a Shine Spark to the right.
So it looks like no one went for... Go ahead.
Yeah. Other people may just land and then try and press the button as quick as possible to do it without gaining any real height, but that's arguably less consistent to do.
Once you touch the ground, I mean...
Yeah, once you touch the ground, if you do a spark from the ground, Samus goes up about half a tile.
Yeah.
And then that's already too high.
The way I used to do it was when I fell down, I would unmorph right before I hit the ground and press A. It was pretty consistent. But it also looked like none of our runners went for the reverse leaving of the Saris tank, which is a Jagger strat or a 2016 Fusion strat.
And then that strat's really hard to practice.
Yeah. Basically, what that is that you can single wall jump up the wall that you fell down to get into the Saris tank, but you can leave it like backwards. Kind of like it only saves 1 second, but it's pretty impressive to see done.
Yeah,
because it requires a lot of wall jumping, and their thumbs would hurt a lot afterwards.
And then another thing about wall jumping in Fusion, normally you cannot do any single wall jumping because just the animation, how it's programmed is they have you pushing way away from the wall every time you do a wall jump. So normally you can only get you can't even get back to the same height with a wall jump going back. However, in water physics, it doesn't push you as far away, so that's what makes that possible.
Kirby just Kirby'd.
Kirby just pulled a Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
So that missile tank that Kirby just went through, we call him Bob. Formerly known as the unskippable missile tank.
Well, I mean, it's always been skippable.
Yeah.
It's just been really, really hard.
So, Bob is the only reason why you
just kind of
with a 0% completion percent.
You might want to say that again. You kind of cut out.
Okay, okay. So Bob is the reason why you normally cannot complete this game with a 0% completion.
Okay.
However, there are 2 ways you can actually skip Bob and get the 0% completion. The first way, and the most well-known way, requires storing a Shine Spark and doing a series of jumps with 7 frames of error, while ending in a Shine Spark. This is extremely difficult, and basically it has only been done with a ton of pause buffering. And only a handful of people have actually pulled it off.
What the hell's Kirby doing?
I missed the start. Looks like he missed the opening shots.
Yeah, but then he was just jumping around like a loon.
I have no idea what happened there.
Oh, either. He was like charging and like trying to shoot, get him to hop, but wasn't working, or
I'm not sure. It looks like
he's got like no health.
Oh wow.
Hey, you guys should probably explain the box fight while they're in there.
So Box is one of the few bosses that has 0 RNG attached to it. And it's all dependent on trying, and then he takes 10 missiles to die. And then the key part of the strat for Box is, as soon as he jumps on the screen, you want to get a charge beam or a missile in him and hitting him. And then after that, he does the same thing as long as you do the same.
Kirby is living life on the edge right now. He
can take one hit. He can get bodied by 1 blue X though.
I swear, after that fight, he went up and he used the charge beam to kill the little flying guy, and then he used a charge beam to kill the side hopper.
Whoa.
I know.
I used to do that strat, but then I realized, why am I going to risk my life like that in this game?
He had 90 energy too. Like, just shoot the missile.
Yeah, and then
my bracket.
And then side hoppers do a lot of damage too.
I think everyone's bracket. I think. Whew. That was scary to watch.
That was scary.
Yes.
Yeah,
At this point, we're just waiting for Metroidmaster to get through the box fight, and everyone else seems like they're already on their way to Sector 6.
Okay, so Metroidmaster just did a Shine Spark through that room. Shine Sparking there is a lot slower than you would think. It's faster to get to run with that Shine Spark and then jump with the Shine Spark through the room, which it doesn't go that far, but you know it goes far enough where I mean it kind of makes a difference. Because with the Shine Spark, it has the startup animation and then it has the bonk animation, and yet it tends to go past the area where the trigger is. So it takes, I think, a couple seconds longer if you Shine Spark through the room instead of just running to the trigger and then turning back around.
You had just completely lost me for 2 seconds because you said KirbymastaH.
Did I? Wait, what? Listen, they have the same name practically.
I was like, wait a minute, Kirby didn't do a Shine Spark.
Listen, man. Tired.
So the good news looks like Kirby's going to get to the E-Tank safely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know Dragonfangs has been saying in chat that it wasn't that scary, but that he was meant for that thing. I mean, if he would have missed, he would have taken a lot of damage and would have been one hit away from death. But I mean, that's not really the kind of risk you need to take when you have 5 missiles.
Yeah, because you only need 3 going into Sector 6 to take care of that barrier.
I mean,
and then even if you don't go 1 to 3, there's a really easy Shine Spark backup method that doesn't even lose that much time.
And if you mess up both of those, there's also a missile expansion on the left side of the room.
Yep, that you're gonna see Kirby grab along the way back. I think I watched him bomb the wall.
Should have. But then again, he grabbed the
Let's say if he grabbed the main deck missile, he might not get it.
Yes, I'm not sure if we can do go for a 45 or a 40 missile routes today. And then Chad's talking about Hertz present to JRP.
Who said that?
Paulsmore brought it up.
Yeah, Paulsmore.
Let's just go back for in the planning, in the beginning phases of us wanting to kind of toying with the idea of maybe switching to Japanese version. Since at the time it wasn't too hard to find a copy art on eBay. And then Herc decided he wanted to buy 3 copies.
Listen, I needed practice files.
In his defense, one of those he doesn't own anymore.
One of them, no, Kirby owns it.
And then technically, didn't you buy 4? Because you bought JRPs as well.
No,
Yeah.
that was one of the 3.
I was 4.
You had 4?
Yeah.
Although I don't really count the one he bought JRP because he never actually had that one in his hands. Like he had it shipped straight to his house.
Yeah. I mean, it's illegal, but it's his mother, so I don't think it's that illegal.
Yeah.
A federal crime in the United States, but I mean, this is Australia, so they've got like some wacky laws in Australia.
Yeah.
That's where wacky racing actually happens. It's not just a cartoon.
So one of the things you'll notice, like a lot of the runners do, is that whenever the multiple moments in the game, you're stuck in a room where there is where you have the Samus clone, the Sax, coming after you. And a lot of times you'll see runners, they will do a little thing that we commonly call a sack skip in a lot of different rooms, where they try to basically, most of the time it involves triggering the sacks to chase after you and then escaping. But it's basically, your only two options are to either find some way to get out of the room before Sax kills you, or to wait for Sax to leave the room. So doing a Sax skip is basically trying to get out of the room before Sax kills you instead of waiting for it to leave. And it's generally faster. There's only really, I think, one moment in the game where you're actually forced to engage with Sax before the final fight with it. But you will notice the only time the runners will not try to skip Sax by triggering it early is the very first room you see Sax in. You can do a Sax skip in that room, but it's extremely risky, and if you mess it up, you die. So
It only saves like 8 to 10 seconds anyway.
It saves exactly 8 seconds. Well, very close to 8 seconds.
So you won't commonly see runners try and go for that one.
We'll probably see Eagle do a modified version that saves like 5 or 6 seconds.
We'll probably see JRP do it because, you know, JRP.
I was thinking about safety saving before that and go for it once.
I think I might do reverse Sarah's tank tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, on Monday.
Unless you're rolling deep.
Ooh, that's right. Toby, first try, got reverse ice missiles.
Oh, did he? He went for the reverse. What?
He pause buffered it, but he got it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, he pause buffered it? Oh, I'm incredibly less impressed.
He told me he pause buffered it, so...
Oh, well, not impressive anymore.
And that's kind of what I told him. I'm like, still kind of sad you pause buffered it, but better to pause buffer it and hit it than to pause buffer it and miss it.
Yeah.
Or not pause buffer and miss it.
Hey man, it's all about that 1 second that he saved in-game time, and, you know, all that time that he lost RTA.
Yep. And then Sector 5 is probably one of the most boring sectors in the game until we finally get to fight Nightmare.
Nolife and Kirby they look to be really close to each other.
Yeah, they're within
like 20 seconds of each other.
Yeah, No Life has actually got a noticeable lead over Exploud now.
Absolutely.
Not to say that Exploud can't catch up, but he's gonna have to work hard.
There's a 16-second split between No Life and Kirby right now.
It's actually pretty impressive. I don't remember what Kirby. I don't remember what No Life's.
I think he had a 50.
Does he?
I don't remember.
I don't remember his PB.
I will check on that.
Yep. No Life posted his in-game time on the IRC before the start of the race.
All right.
So the biggest thing that we're trying to do for Sector 5 is we do want to leave Sector 5 with around 16 missiles to set us up for the meltdown.
Yeah, I mean that's optimal to. It's better to have more, but 16 is a safe number of missiles to be at for emergency.
And then or ideally be at 10 missiles with full health will work out just as well as.
So, in case you guys are wondering, No Life has a 50 in-game time, and Exploud is 54 for their PBs right at the moment.
I mean, that's 4 minutes. That's still pretty close.
Yeah, that's still pretty close. And I think that's the closest matchup that we've seen so far.
Until tomorrow, when we see Exodo and Boxmeister.
Soto versus Box is definitely going to be one of the closest. It's definitely going to be the closest one.
It is going to be, yeah, it's definitely going to be one of the closest if both players play as to their, personal bests.
No.
But it's gonna promise to be a really, really good matchup. Emergency in Franker Z. Oh, and Pawsmore's gonna be racing too, right? Yeah, but Pawsmore, we weren't. In the context of the whatever I was saying, it was more driven towards Exodo and Boxmeister's match because of how close they are time-wise. I believe Reddy is like a 50-something, and you have like a 47.
I'm pretty sure Betty's time is worse than mine.
Yeah, he's got like maybe, I think less, I don't know if he has sub-hour. He might have a 59 or a 58, but I mean that's...
Alright guys, spam up emergency and Franker Z.
Udin in Magoo. That's just wrong.
Yeah, Reddy has a 104.
Yeah, so...
Pawsmore, just don't die, you'll be fine tomorrow.
Pawsmore die. It would be hilarious and cool.
To Nightmare.
Well, if
Yeah.
he loses, I have to fight him, right?
Yeah, exactly. It'll be, so like I said, it'll be hilarious and cool.
That's a nice
Look
ball
at
by
the
Kirby.
Franker Z bark, cause he barks so free. Bark, 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 Franker Z.
So, for this part of the run, this is generally referred to as the emergency section, sometimes affectionately known as Emergency in Franker Z.
We have a song. Thanks,
And
Jagger.
for this section of the game, this is one of the more tougher sections, I would say. You have a somewhat limited missile supply because of the last sector, and you're going to be using your ice missiles a lot. Most of the time, you're going to see them freezing those purple, long enemies that are called stretchies, to use them as some kind of platform to make it further up.
I don't remember their official name, but it's something
like,
weird.
They're like Niggins or something like that.
The what?
They begin with an N, the purple. And then the color one, then they actually have different names depending on the color that they are. Then I don't feel like looking them up right now.
Neither do I. Thanks to AM2R, I learned that the Spitters actually have an interesting name that I completely forgot about.
Oh no.
They're called Genesis.
Oh yeah.
I
Nice.
forgot that.
Today I learned that Spitters have a name, other than Spitters.
Which is really cool because apparently there's a bit in AM2R where you can go to visit like a Federation ship and it's like you have to fight one of them. Actually,
That was a nice emergency from Kirby.
oh, that was a really good emergency. Not as good as JC's emergency, but it was still passable.
Kurt's just not hiding the AM2R spoilers tonight.
Listen, man. I haven't even played it, so I mean, you can take my word for as good as it is.
Okay, so another thing about doing doubles on the beam core axes, for starting out, it's like the only one that runners generally go for is the one for a charge beam because that one's a bit more free. And then something that we forgot to mention as we got to the super missiles, the more you up, the further the missiles are upgraded, there's a bigger delay, and then the missiles also get faster. So that also makes doubles harder as we get through the game. There's some pretty tight setups for us to do wide beam, plasma beam, and ice beam core axes. But they require taking a lot of extra damage. And then the setups are pretty particular.
Sometimes, however, in one of the beam axes, you won't really see the runners going for doubles because the room is just simply too small to really have enough space to do a effective strategy for getting them. You'll see that whenever they go to fight the Wave Beam Corax, because the Wave Beam Corax, its room, it's far too small. It's pretty much TAS only for you to try and get doubles in that boss fight. And even, it's sort of infamous because even the TAS kind of struggled with it. So it's not something you'll be seeing a human do anytime soon, at least.
Well, I mean, you can see me do it because I'm part human.
Alright, let's see if Kirby goes for a stretchy climb for animals.
He probably will. He usually does.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, he usually goes for the stretchy climb. He likes to live life on the edge.
So for this part of the game, if you're a Super Metroid runner, you might want to look away. But
Don't
for the part of the game
watch.
they're going to now is they're going to save the animals. You need to do a little bit of a somewhat difficult climb if you try to do it like the best way, called the stretchy climb. And you can sort of see it better and explain it, assuming Kirby goes for it. But basically, you try to get right above the stretchy and missile it with an ice beam as it spawns, and repeat for the other one, and then get to the top platform. After that, you will see the runners try to go for a specific speed boost setup. Some of them will try to go for the setup, other ones will just try to get the speed boost. But basically, you're going to try and get a speed boost after exposing some speed boost blocks. And once you've done that, you'll be able to do a shine spark in the next room that skips a little bit of a section. As you can see here, Kirby kind of failed the climb a little bit. He made it past the first stretchy, but was unable to make it past the second. And that's not uncommon to see. The second one is a much more tougher jump to make.
Absolutely.
You can see Kirby got the shine spark I was talking about, let you get to the top of that room without having to mess with any of the stretchies. And now, the animals are complete RNG. So
they're the worst bit of RNG, honestly.
Yeah, they definitely have some of the higher variants. You can easily lose seconds here, which is fairly huge compared to most of the RNG in this game. Most of it you don't lose that much time from.
Nolife9face did the old school shine break as well. And then for that one, that's a 2-frame window. And then I didn't see Kirby do the shine break. But there's a fairly recent discovery, even though it's like, I think it's a little over a year old since we started using a different setup for that. The old way, you get a 2-frame window to get that store in before you just fall off, so you can spark up that stretchy shaft. And then there's another one and then it's fairly lenient on where to set it up. You just have to know what to search for. You just have to know the queue for it. And then that gives you 4 to 7 frames.
Yeah, now all of our runners at this point have officially gotten out of emergency and left Sector 3, and now some of them are leaving after having saved one of them has already saved the animals and is leaving, and the other one is about to. I believe No Life has also gotten past as well, I think.
Yeah.
So we have 3 of our runners who have already saved the animals, they're on their way back. Now they'll be heading back to Sector 5, which is the ice sector. From here, they're going to get one of the historically superpowered items from the other Metroid games. And this game doesn't have a whole lot of utility to it, which is Power Bomb.
Ice beam? Oh.
Power bombs are used mostly for getting past certain obstacles. They're usually Power Bomb exclusive. They don't have a whole lot of uses for anything other than that, but you will still occasionally see them used to like clear a room of enemies or clear some bomb blocks earlier. If you can like let off a power bomb before you get to a bomb block, you can usually destroy the bomb block quicker, because power bombs destroy bomb blocks and power bomb exclusive blocks. There'll also be a little bit of a sack skip you'll see, which isn't much of one. It's mostly only the sack skip because using the power bomb that triggers the sacks is quicker than actually just bombing the little platform you're going to see the bomb open. But after that, they will be leaving Sector 5, and they will have to head back to the main deck until something happens to them on an elevator.
Kirby barely avoided that beam. Very good.
Just barely, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Josh decided to, or Metroidmaster decided to, opt for killing that one stretchy.
Yep, and then if you kill that if you kill any of the stretches in the game, you actually can't make it up anymore.
He can still make it. He can still make it. It's just gonna be tough for him. Well,
He decided
smart
to
that he
vote
did
room
that.
instead.
yeah, probably smart that he did that, honestly.
Which I didn't think there was a setup so you can do that still. With that other stretchy.
If the other stretchy is stretched out enough, you can run and jump and still make it onto the very bottom of that ladder, but really tough and it's got to be extended.
Yeah. Once you get... a lot of times you'll notice throughout this game, whenever you get a new upgrade, the game just loves to make you use it as much as possible until you get the next upgrade. You'll notice that they have a lot of these little stretchy climbs they have to do by freezing the enemies with ice missiles. Pretty much after they get power bombs, suddenly the little stretching climbing stops happening as much, and then all of a sudden you see a lot of power bomb obstacles show up. So the game does a very good job of teaching you how to use your items. Maybe a bit overused, but
just a bit, yeah.
You will see no shortage of item usage, at least right after they get it. Towards the end of the game, though, you'll see the item use slow down. You'll see more of a mixture of items being used.
I would say after, I'd say around Yakuza is when that happens.
Yeah, definitely.
Because, I mean, after that, once they get to Yakuza, I mean, they're getting some useful items, but most of that stuff is like, you know, gravity suit, space jump, and like a various amount of beams. So it's like nothing like utility-wise.
Right. Spitters treated Kirby pretty nice.
Oh, very nice spitter room.
Yeah. The room Kirby just left, as they've called his spitter room. In that room, they have a lot of enemies on the ceiling that are called spitters, and they have little spiky... Okay, yeah. And they have little spiky enemies that are on the ground. It's pretty notorious because you have to... It's very difficult to like, go through. What you want to do is you want to get a Shine Spark without getting hit by any of the spitters and without hitting any of the spiky enemies on the floor, and just go right through and Shine Spark right across. But there's a bit of a problem with it. It's very difficult to sort of kill the number of enemies you need to kill out of your way in order to get the spark, and at the same time, you also have to avoid, while you're trying to get the spark, you have to avoid the spit dropped by spitters. It's very difficult, and it's not uncommon to see a lot of runners screw it up. Now, if you'll notice, No Life actually messed it up, but he dropped a power bomb in the room.
Yeah, and then it's not necessarily a screw up when you get hit by the spitters. It's like the spit that comes out, it's complete RNG, and it's extremely hard to read if you can make it through or not.
Yeah, but if you do get hit too late, you don't have to go back and get the speed booster if you're close to the door. You can actually go into the next room and you can drop a power bomb and it'll expose a passage. It does slow you down somewhat because you're kind of forced to grab an extra missile expansion that if you do grab, it's going to take away some of your time as well. But it's better than having to try and go for that, trying to get the speed boost over and over again and dying because of it. And you have a few extra missiles for the next few fights, which can actually speed them up a little bit. It's overall a time loss, I believe, but you do get a little bit of help with later fights.
Mm-hmm.
Right here you can see Kirby entered the first boss of what I call the Gauntlet of Bosses, which is when you have to fight a bunch of bosses within a short time frame of each other. Mm-hmm. 3 of them to be specific. Actually, I would say it goes all the way up to Xbox, don't you guys?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So that'd be 4 bosses you pretty much have to do within a short time frame. First, these is Yakuza.
Honestly, I would say it goes all the way up to the end of the game. Because right after you fight Xbox, you go and fight Ridley, like almost immediately.
Yeah, that's true too. There wasn't much
last two bosses.
Yep.
So I think at this point it's just bosses and bosses. I mean, the only time they're ever going to be getting an item that's not from a boss is when they get the fusion missiles.
Yeah. Only reason I say that is because Lower Sector 4 adds a lot, and I figured it might not, because like, with Yakuza and Nethereye and all them, it's pretty.
Okay, so with the Yakuza, so pretty much, Yakuza drops them, comes back up, and then you can either open on the first time, second time, third, or fourth time. And that's complete RNG. And then after you deal 500 damage to Yakuza, his legs break off. And then you have to kind of chase his head around as he space jumps around everything, while he drops little garbage things at you. And then it's pretty hard to get the hits in pretty consistently, because his movement's completely random, and you're also trying to avoid stuff. Not only trying to avoid having Samus hit it, but trying to not missile them as you're trying to get Yakuza.
Yeah, and something that you see them doing too is they jump into Yakuza's legs so that he grabs them. And what that does is, if you allow Yakuza to grab you and you can like wiggle out of it, he will reset his position to the top of the room, and it'll effectively skip around to him crawling all the way around the room, which is a lot faster than having him crawl around and then get back up to the top of the screen. I would say it's considerably much faster. I don't know exactly how much time it saves, but if it goes past 2 rounds, I think it saves a lot more time than it would if it was just the first round.
Yeah, and once you see the Yakuza interface too, you'll notice that one of the important things to note is while he's space jumping around, he basically sort of has screw attack in a way as well, because you cannot hit him with a missile while he's spinning. You gotta wait for him to stop for a split second, otherwise he will just be immune to damage.
Yep.
While he's spinning.
So Kirby's fighting Metroid right now. Then there's not really much to say about it. This is probably one of the more relief bosses that you'll see. The big thing is if you just hang out on the right side edge of that platform, the little spores that are being fired from the left plant don't come out. Or if you hang out on the very left side, spores won't hit you at all because there's 0 RNG coming out from that. So
actually, I think on both sides you're pretty much safe. The only thing is that on the right side you can shoot your beams and missiles, and they won't hit the pollen that's coming down.
Yep.
Whereas if you're standing on the left side, that right one, the left most plant still fires, and your missiles and beams still has a chance to hit it and get wasted.
Yeah, if you notice about the whole boss gauntlet thing, I mean.
Alright.
We've had Exploud actually in one of those 3, one of our top 3 runners right now, top 3 runners in the race right now are Nolife, Exploud, and Kirby, and this is I believe the first time that we've seen one of them fighting one boss while another one was fighting another boss. So
yep, and then
it sort of illustrates how many bosses and how quickly you've got to fight them in this.
Yeah. There's very little time between Yakuza and Nethereye.
I have a feeling that by the time Metroidmaster gets to Yakuza, Kirby will be or by the time he's finished Yakuza, Kirby will be starting to fight Nightmare.
Probably.
Yep, and then Metroidmaster's his main project is Zero Mission. He does really well in that game.
Yeah. Oh, Exploud not going for the quick missile block destroy planet a little safe.
Yeah, that's gonna cost them some time.
Yeah,
it's gonna cost them some time, but better to be safe than sorry.
Yes,
True.
Master versus Master.
And depending on how my match goes.
Does he even have any tank of health left? I can't.
Exploud, he's got a 175 or 174.
Yeah,
okay, so that's why I didn't want to risk that fight too, because he would have been in serious danger if he had.
Yeah,
absolutely, which is a very, very smart and safe play by him. not at all anything to shake a stick at. Oh wow, Metroidmaster got really good luck. He got one round, but could not finish off Yakuza. Ooh, getting Yakuza to crawl around the room a little bit more. Kirby's going for a backup strat, it looks like, for the Shine Spark, the other backup. Oh, he's going for Nightmare Space Boost. He didn't get it.
That wasn't the backup.
I honestly didn't see what happened because I was watching Metroidmaster's fight.
I didn't see if he got hit or not.
I thought he was going to use that backup where he goes to the left of the room and then stores it in the big room and then uses it there. I was not expecting him to go for a Nightmare Space Boost.
Actually, seeing him going back there, we should have seen that. The backup he normally does if he fails the normal Nightmare Spark is he'll go right 2 rooms, and then that little room on that bottom area of that next room has just enough room for you to get Speed Booster. So he likes to use that one if he fails the initial spark.
So and I think you kind of nailed it, Herc, whenever you said that he Metroidmaster looks like he just finished up Yakuza, and Kirby's right at the eye door for Nightmare.
Yep.
Yeah, he's well, I think too because Metroidmaster was doing some 0 or 1% strats on Yakuza. It looked like he was using the charge beam instead of using missiles on his second phase. Also on nolife9face, he got the epically long Shine Spark through Sector 5. Ooh, and a very good start for Nightmare from Kirby.
Nightmare is one of the it's probably one of the first few. It's probably one of, for a lot of players, especially players who are playing through the game for the first time. The boss looks deceptively difficult. He's extremely difficult if you don't know how to manipulate his movement. But once you do know how to manipulate his movement, the boss fight becomes significantly easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the hardest bosses to learn. So, just generally down.
I've been playing this game for like 3 years now, and I still don't know how to to manipulate Nightmare. It's really hard to learn. I mean, I do know
kind of manipulate where he goes, but whenever he decides to like stop attacking you and open himself up for attack, that's kind of hard.
That's the hardest thing, because I think at first it's really specific to where he stops and where you are. If you're moving, what I found is that if you move the screen at all during that sort of transition where he's about to get set up, if you move the screen, I think he assumes that he's not in position and he'll just continue to move around. So it's weird. I've been trying to learn it a lot more of his how he operates, especially since I've been doing 0%, and it's interesting to say the least. Though when Nightmare first begins moving in his third phase, he doesn't follow Samus immediately. He will be following a invisible dot that's in the room, and that's that dot is what all the X go to like float around the room and stuff like that. So every single room in the game has these invisible dots that you can't see. So Nightmare will begin following that dot that's in the room before he stops and then follows Samus.
Yep, and then KirbymastaH is, and then pretty soon nolife9face is in probably. I think it's the most dangerous part of the game. I think lower Sector 4 is so much more dangerous than Nightmare at times. There's just so much that can kind of go wrong, so many things you're trying to keep track of, and while you're trying to keep moving. And then the enemies here do quite a bit of damage.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're not careful, lower Sector 4 will take away your life in this game pretty quickly. it's very easy to just take like a ton of damage and not even realize it. You might take a few hits and think, oh, well, that's not that much, and then you check your health and suddenly you don't even have a whole E-tank left.
Shout out to 1% Fish.
I know.
We're not talking about Mr. Fishhead, we're talking about the fish in Sector 4 that can basically destroy you in 1%.
0%.
0% and 1% now.
It's down to 0% fish.
Well, no one's died to it in 0% yet.
Oh yeah.
Don't worry, someone will.
Right now, Kirby just got missiles.
Anyone who wants to learn 0%, let us know too.
It's likely to be me. Yeah, me and JC are really the only two players that actually actively run 0%. Well, actually, I'm the only one that actively runs 0%. JC kind of stopped after he got it as a single segment. I just don't have I haven't had the kind of time recently with planning of tournaments and marathons and stuff like that to sit down and actually do it, but I'm going to try to do it before September 4th. Or, well, September something.
So now at this point, all of our runners are either fighting Nightmare, about to fight Nightmare, or they're leaving Sector 4.
And it's at this point, too, that we have more alive runners than we did last race.
This is true.
Yep.
Fortunately, our two runners from last race, Next Gen Gamer 9 and
Unfortunately,
208, both perished before this game.
Unfortunately, No Life missed the store of his spark going through that Kaga right there. You have just if you get a store right there, you have just enough time to make it to that room with all the puffers in there, and then spark all the way up that shaft instead. It makes it pretty safe, and it's actually a little bit safer than speed boosting through or space boosting through the Kago.
It is slower though. If you get the speed boost and then speed boost up the or shine spark up that shaft.
It's actually a little bit faster last time I timed it.
Is it? I thought it was slower because of the bonk.
It's a bit faster.
Exploud just bonked on the ledge right there. There's so many different timing methods. There's so many different timings for things that like so many different people that have timed so many different things that it's hard to keep straight sometimes.
Yeah, and then at the same time, we're also timing it based on our own execution at the same time.
Right.
And then the reason that you see so many different strats between all the runners is some runners do one thing a lot more cleaner than they can do the other strats.
Yeah. Like for my race, I'll just do 0% tomorrow or Monday. God, thank God it's not Sunday. Oh. I keep thinking that it's Sunday, and I'm like, please no.
So the boss that KirbymastaH is about to fight is called Xbox. You've already sort of seen this boss before. It's this box fight from before, but it has gotten a little bit stronger. Instead of shooting its little fire pillars out,
A little bit.
it will now shoot out missiles at you that can be shot out with your beam. The boss is pretty much fought in a similar way. You want to manipulate its movement to hit it with as many super missiles as possible. And as you can see there, it ends pretty quickly if you don't mess anything up.
Yeah, I mean, once it gets hit, it starts hopping immediately, so it's really easy to get him to jump. Also, that wave beam that it shoots out does 80 damage around, or 87 damage.
It does a lot. It can wreck you.
It does a whole lot. Yeah, it absolutely can wreck you. I can vouch for that.
And as I mentioned before, this is the Core X where they do not go for doubles because the room does not really have enough vertical height for you to be able to reasonably go for it.
It's really tight for that. It's pretty much TAS only.
Yep.
Warning, no entry without authorization.
Nightmare's topping a little bit too high for Josh Beagle's being Metroidmaster 2's main missiles on him.
Yeah, game crash. People do run 0%, but it's mostly just me at this point.
Warning, no entry.
Yep, then I'll probably come back to it once it gets a single segment.
which might be before HDQ.
I hope it is.
I'm hoping it's sometime in this next week or so I can submit it for HDQ. Even if it has one death in it, I mean, it's still like, I'd rather have like submit something that has a death, so that way it's like, you know, this could happen, and it's very likely to happen, but still a very good category.
Yeah, it's really fun. And then there, honestly, isn't that many difference as far as strats go for 0% compared to any percent. You just have to have a bit tighter execution overall in order to not keep at the same pace. There's only like 4 major strat changes.
Yeah, I mean, most of the strat changes come too from like boss fights, because across all the categories, any percent, 0%, /1%, and 100%, most of the strats are pretty much the same. Any percent and 100% strats for most bosses are pretty much identical. When it comes to the low percent categories, though, things change a lot because you have a lot fewer missiles. So it's a lot more charge beam and power bomb intensive, especially for Notorious, since he takes damage from power bombs. But a lot of different strategies than any percent, 100%. So it looks like Kirby's on his way up to go fight Ridley. As is No Life, he's about to trigger the restricted lab Sector 0 escape.
So in this next room that Kirby's about to enter, you're going to see Gold Pirate the first time. Gold Pirates can only be killed by a beam shot through their back. However, here's what's interesting about it. The game doesn't actually check to see if they got shot in the back. They check to see if you're facing the opposite direction of your beam.
Yeah,
so if you shoot your beam and quickly turn around, it will actually damage them. And kill them.
So as long as you're looking the same direction as them, it's, for whatever reason, I mean, it's weird how they do this, because, like, I don't understand why they would change the parameters for the Gold Pirates like that, and there's certain other enemies where you have to be shooting them in the back, and, like, or, like, Nightmare's face, where it's only, I mean, it's basically, it's not a hitbox, pretty much. Their whole body is still a hitbox. They basically just reskinned it and then added a parameter because they were lazy.
So, for the Ridley fight, it's fairly straightforward. The main thing you need to worry about, you generally want to try and stay on the right side and keep hitting him with a fully charged wave beam diagonally shot at him. You need to do it diagonally, because once you get plasma beam, your beam starts dealing more damage the longer it stays in the enemy. So diagonal shots make it stay in the enemy the longest. So you want to shoot them with diagonal shots, and you want to quickly follow it up with a missile and then start charging for the next shot. Ridley's attacks are fairly straightforward. He will do his pogo attack from Super Metroid, if you've ever played that. He will bounce around the room while repeatedly smacking the ground with his tail. And then the other, and usually the more dangerous attack, is that he will sometimes grab you. And until he takes enough damage while he's holding you, he will keep zapping away your health, almost like a Metroid would.
We have had a nice high five from nolife9face and Kirby in the Golden Pirate room.
So, as you can see, Kirby's fight went fairly well. He managed to defeat the Core X pretty easily, and Ridley didn't really give him any trouble. But it's really easy for Ridley to give people a lot of trouble, so it's very easy for that fight to get out of control. So do not be surprised if we see someone die at that point.
That was a nice
during the tournament.
Ridley has taken an unfortunately large number of my runs personally. And as you can see here, No Life got grabbed by Ridley. He had to do enough damage. Yeah. And that's, got grabbed a second time as well, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
And there's a third time. Let's go. You know.
Wow, he's still not dead.
Uh-oh.
What the hell?
Yep.
Oh, no!
Oh,
damn it, No Life, you messed up my bracket.
I might have unfortunately jinxed No Life there. Like I said,
no.
he can kill you very easily, as we saw there. No Life got grabbed like
as long
3 or 4 times, and that was enough.
Here's the thing: as long as Exploud finishes, he will move on. That's a shame. That's really tough for No Life. I think a little less of the missile spam and shooting another wave, 1 or 2 more wave beam shots would have taken care of Ridley. Yeah. That's the one thing you really never want to do against Ridley is start spamming missiles, because 1, it's slow, and 2, it doesn't deal as much damage as a wave beam can, because the wave beam, while it takes longer to charge, can absolutely be so much faster than spamming missiles.
So many players, whenever they get grabbed by Ridley, their instinct is to start spamming missiles, but that's not necessarily optimal.
Yeah, I mean, it might be fine if you are, if it's been a while since you last heard a screech from Ridley. Maybe he only had like 2 missiles to go, 2 or 3.
He was very close to killing Ridley.
Yeah, he had like probably 2 or 3 nice charge shots left. Probably, maybe even 1. If he...
Honestly, if he had 1 more E-Tank of health, he would have made it, I think.
I mean, to be fair, he had, what, like 5 E-Tanks?
I want to say yes, but he might have had 4.
I think he had 5 because he grabbed the Sector 1 E-Tank as well. So, you know.
That's kind of, yeah.
It's a
really 4 times.
Really
so
tough.
A lot of health. If I got grabbed like 3 or 4 times with 4 E-Tanks, I would be dead.
It's really tough to see someone die in a race, especially if it's a really close one as well. No Life is a really good runner as well. Actually, I think he only started running fairly recently too. I want to say like a couple months ago. Oh boy. Oh wait, never mind. He has plenty of health. So,
Cloud as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Kirby's on his way to beat the game. He's gonna go crash a space station into a planet, one that was left undestroyed in Metroid 2 because, you know, Samus, I guess, still had a heart, and because there was really nothing for her to send into the planet to make it explode at the time. But she made sure she came back and made it get it up and comings.
Yep, and then using ice missiles, it makes what was a pretty hard fight casually, a pretty trivial fight. Yeah. The only real dangers Kirby's really going to have on this fight is a soft lock on phase 2.
Or Ice Beam wrecking him.
Yes, yeah, the big thing is you want to see, it's a really tight window to release your charge beam and get the next missile in. So there's 2 things you don't want to see. You don't want to see Sax unfreeze and get knocked back while you're in the middle of a charge shot, and you don't want to see a soft lock on phase 2, which happens if you kill phase 2 Sax as it's turning around.
Yeah. Which, I'm not gonna lie, Toby was very close to soft locking. He was living life on the edge with that, on the second phase of this fight.
Yeah.
Okay, and as you can see, Kirby, this fight went well. He just needs to take out the Ice Core X now.
Yeah,
I can't see if we get the doubles. I think he got 1 double.
He did not.
That's the thing of kind of 4 missile shots, so...
Okay, yeah.
No, he did not.
Yeah, so that was 5 whenever I said that, so yeah. So now Kirby has destroyed the Ice Core X, which for some reason he wasn't able to grab it. I don't know what that was about. I'm sure we'll find out later.
Broken. I think it's because he hacked his Game Boy. Like I said, he hacked his system earlier, so it's probably has something to do with that. Probably has something to do with
Kirby was actually supposed to go walk to the left a little bit after triggering the countdown to get a speed boost while leaving the area, but I'm assuming he just forgot, or he didn't go far enough back to gain the speed boost. But normally you gain a speed boost in that room where you fought Sax when you're leaving, or just speed boost to their space jump with speed boost to the other side of the room. Now at this point, classic Metroid evacuation. Samus is trying to get to her ship, and when she gets there, the game should end, right? Like nothing else I can think of, right, guys?
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else. No, I'm pretty sure Kirby's he's about to win his matchup against Metroidmaster. He did not get the low height shine spark, unfortunately. He was a little bit too high.
Yeah, well, better than the one I had.
Yeah, I know. You had 2 wind sparks, actually.
Did I?
There's no ship. Yeah, you did. You had one in Sector 4 and one at the end of the game.
Oh, the one in... Are you talking about when I missed low height?
Yep. You went the wrong way.
No, I didn't. I went the right way because I recognized I wasn't getting low height.
Why would you... That doesn't make sense.
Just...
You would...
Just go with it, Herc. Just go with it.
Because you still have to go back left so you can get your speed booster.
Okay, so this is the final boss fight, which is the Omega Metroid. It gets killed by Ice Beam really easily. You're gonna see... If you notice, Kirby just kind of like wrecked it.
He just destroyed it. GG,
Nice.
Kirby.
That is a strategy called the quick kill. If you are able to basically get the Metroid locked in a certain position and repeatedly use your Ice Beam, he will not be able to do anything, and you will just keep shooting him until he dies. It's fairly straightforward, and Kirby actually did at least I think the vertical kills considered to be a bit more difficult. Most people will just simply shoot it diagonally, but Kirby aimed it straight upwards, which is a bit more difficult to do, I believe.
Yeah, if you
I
do
believe Kobe went for that as well.
If you do the diagonal one, you have to run back to avoid a swipe really fast. And then with the up one, you'll do damage fast enough to not have to worry about it.
It's a lot riskier to go for that one though.
Yep. And then Ridley and Omega are the only 2 that have a action cancel whenever you do a set amount of damage to them. Which is what makes that quick kill possible for us.
Oh yeah.
So
it's strange
I
enough.
would say KirbymastaH to KirbymastaH for winning his match against Metroidmaster. I guess we can say the KirbymastaH is slightly better.
Yeah, slightly.
Maybe a few
the
minutes
capital.
better.
It's the capital H that does it, man.
Exactly.
Also, if ExploudYourEar, I would highly recommend to ExploudYourEar that he saved right before SAS.
Yeah, at this point he's got a
highly.
free win, so you might as well take that save. I have no idea if he's going.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if
he knows that though.
I'm not sure if he's paying attention to IRC or not.
Exactly, yeah, because if he's not, then you never know. Oh, hey, look, it's Odin. Odin.
So I guess we gotta really hope that ExploudYourEar decides to take that save. That would be extremely unfortunate if he didn't take the save and he died to Sax and found out that he had a free win waiting for him.
Oh boy.
Welcome to Odin.
I told you he would have some input in this commentary at some point. He thinks Kirby did a good job, is what he was saying.
I'm just gonna believe you.
He was saying that all the runners did a good job.
Okay, we're about to find the moment of truth. Is ExploudYourEar gonna go for the save?
I don't know. Oh, he's not. Uh-oh.
He
Go
better
back and
not
save
die to
ExploudYourEar.
Sax then.
Oh god. Well, I mean, there is time, so they can always just run it back. Like immediately afterwards.
Yeah, let's just hope they don't have to.
Yeah.
It would be extremely unfortunate if to have our first race where both runners died to be today.
Oh yeah. On the second day of the tournament, all too. Uh-oh.
I think he's gonna try and get the ground set up again.
There we go.
Okay. Alright. We
Yep.
are safe. No, we're not. Oh boy. Exploud, please. Please, Exploud.
Don't worry,
die.
safe strat. He's got it.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
ooh.
He has plenty
that
of health. What are you
was
freaking out for?
Yeah.
Because once that happens, it's like
Yeah. Well, yeah.
there's
One.
no uh-oh.
Yeah. Once that. Yeah. Once
Just stand on the
Sax gets a
platform,
chance
please.
to once Zax gets a chance to break out of that ice cycle,
It's really tough. Yeah. Mm.
welcome, Kirby.
Oh, hi, Kirby.
So you can see right now that Exploud is doing a fairly safe strat on the Ice Beam Core X. You can really do that with pretty much any of the Core X's where there are platforms laid out, which makes them pretty much the easiest boss fight in the game.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of the I-cores have a platform in the room except for the plasma beam, to where it'll get stuck onto the platform that you can do that.
And Wave Beam also does not have any.
Right.
Yep. And then another safe thing you can do that you saw in Kirby's stream was when especially with fighting them Ice Beam Core X's.
Ew.
If you
Kirby
fall
at
and do it,
49.
and if you do a screw attack as you're
Ew.
if you do a screw attack as you're falling down, screw attack's pretty OP in Fusion, so you won't take any damage from the Ice Beam at all.
Yeah, that's what I do usually if I want to take the Ice Core X safely. Like, every time I attempt to hit him, I immediately spin, and that guarantees you won't get hit. Also, hi.
Welcome.
Hello.
What's stuck out in this run?
Oh, that I've not really ran this game ever since AGDQ.
Yeah. That 49,
did
though.
A total of one run since, which was a race in the SGDQ practice room with Herc, Gunnar, and Mickey, I think.
Yeah, and the only reason you beat me was because I died.
Ha!
Well, don't worry. In about 2 rounds, if we both make it to round 3, we'll be having a rematch.
Oh boy, that's gonna be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
Very fun. Alright, Exploud's being ready to finish off Omega.
Mm-hmm. And Metroidmaster is still talking to Adam.
Ew, Adam.
I was like, oh no, Exploud messed up a quick kill, but I'm like, wait a minute, no, he's still in Gravity Suit. What am I talking about? Oh no, he didn't get the quick kill. Hope he doesn't.
Hey, Pop.
Alright, he's got him.
Okay. Whew. Exploud was... that was close.
Yeah, typically...
That was very close.
Typically on his speed run, Omega can be fairly safe, but if you don't get enough damage in, or you don't get that right position in so you can spam and do constant damage and have him, and then do that attack cancel, that little stun from him, it starts to become a pretty scary fight because if he starts moving forward, then you have to find a new position to keep him from going back. Then every time you do the stun on him, he takes a few steps back. But then you have to find a new position as you're going back, so it becomes... goes from pretty safe to pretty scary in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. Hard to reestablish that quick kill though once it's once it's done.
We have our 2 winners. ExploudYourEar has won his match against Nolife, and KirbymastaH won his match against Metroidmaster.
I would just like to thank ExploudYourEar for ruining my bracket, as well as probably a bunch of other brackets.
Thanks.
Big shout outs to you guys, to you, Exploud.
I personally blame Nolife, but hey.
You know.
I mean, in his defense, it wasn't Exploud who... Unless we can prove Exploud actually hacked into Nolife's console, I don't think we'll be able to prove he had anything to do with it.
Saves Dragonfang's bracket. Who is Dragonfang?
I don't even remember which one of those 2 I voted would win.
Who's Dragonfang's against? I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know.
Abortion Shark.
Let me check the bracket.
He's facing Abortion Shark.
And I think Abortion Shark is fairly new as well. I'm not sure how long Abortion has been running.
I believe he is fairly new. I think he's a Prime Runner as well.
Yeah, I think he's got like a 55 or 54.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, well, I predicted that Nolife would win it, so that didn't work out too well.
Well, I mean, to be fair, JC predicted that you were gonna win everything, and that didn't really pan out.
If Herc and I race, you better predict that Herc wins, so you can die.
Oh, dude, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people have me winning that race, and I'm like, I just don't. Like, there's no way.
Herc, you better grab 6 E-tanks for that race.
Just don't die to Wave Beam Core X.
or Ice Beam Core X.
I predicted JC's match correctly.
I didn't.
Yeah,
That's a
JC
bit
did.
disheartening to be right about, though.
Oh yeah, you have the brackets. Yeah, you have pretty much every 4 people. You have someone that's like a sub 50er spread out across the bracket.
Yeah,
Mostly
that's
balanced.
Mostly because we seeded it, so
Yeah,
worse players fought better players, and so on.
makes sense.
Welcome, Xcloud.
Oh, hi. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
How'd you
I
feel
have to
about
say,
it?
your win,
I,
man.
I hate my finger. Oh,
You hate your finger.
yeah, for mashing against
Alright.
the Omega. I nearly died on it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I
geez.
will be right back. Oh, so
You-
Xcloud,
you
congrats
actually
on winning.
mash?
Yeah, probably the safest thing to do is like
Come on.
once he breaks out of that lock is you probably want to do the casual strat.
Just run back and forth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but usually I'm pretty confident in it. Just
Yeah.
there, I didn't
Um,
get it.
And then
I
especially
don't
when you only have 1 full E-tank left. If you have 199, you risk that double swipe.
Yeah, that double. Yeah, I know.
As long as you have more than 1 energy tank, you should always just commit to the quick kill.
Yeah.
Just don't back off.
The last time I got hit, I was like, no, don't double, please. I didn't get double, hopefully. Well, I didn't expect to win that either, but I guess.
The bracket has been ruined.
Unfortunately, No Life kind of died.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep. And then
So if
We
Herc
could-
beats Foxbot, then you're going to be facing Herc. Have fun.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry. Don't worry, Xploud. You listen. Of all the people that are like, seated in the top 5, I'm probably like the most.
Death
I'm
Ward
probably
you
the.
want?
No, I'm probably that too, but I'm probably like the most appealing one to go against because I'm so inconsistent in races. Because like of all the people with a 46, I'm pretty sure I'm like the least consistent of all of them.
I just got a 49.
Yeah. Well, you also haven't played since HDQ, well SGDQ, but still.
I mean, to be equally fair, SGQ was like, what, 1 or 2 months ago?
It was a month and a half ago.
Yeah, a month and a half.
Alright, GG to Josh, to Metroidmaster.
Okay, so that means the only runner who died this time was No Life, so that's pretty good.
Hey, not bad.
Metroid races are cursed. Someone always dies.
Always.
If the pattern holds, the next race no one will die.
Oh wait, never mind.
I can't think of a
I
single
won't wait till
GDQ race where a single Metroid GDQ race where no one died or forfeited.
I think they're no.
Every Super-
4 race.
Every Super Metroid
Wait,
race has had a forfeit, if I remember
No.
correctly.
Didn't
No,
the
the
first
four-way
one
race didn't.
everyone
Oh wait, no.
win?
The
Wait,
HT
did-
2013, Garrison died in that one.
That's right. Yeah, I was about to say. I
Yeah,
think Garrison
yeah,
might have
you're
died in
right.
that one.
And in Fusion 1%, well, I mean, everyone's expected to die. Fusion any percent Herc died. There was a 0 mission any percent race. I think Ash, who was a really old runner, forfeited. So, yeah.
Right.
Metroid races are cursed.
Ugh. Unfortunately.
You know, the world's
Yeah,
gonna
I was
end
just-
whenever we have a Metroid
I
race
was
where
on-
no one dies.
I was on the receiving end of that though on at HDQ, which isn't too bad, I guess. Also, good thing, which is the good thing to note, looking at the brackets, there's 3 that are still perfect. JRP. Well, I don't think that's JRPs. Rossus and Dragon Fangs are perfect still. 3 people predicted that our buddy Xploud here was going to win. Hey man, that's not bad. Listen, man, you ruined. Listen, you winning has definitely killed a lot of brackets, but hell, you won. Good job.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Keep
Keep
it
up
up.
jinxing people and letting making them die.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm cursed and everyone is gonna die against me. Who knows? I don't know.
Or maybe,
I was-
or maybe
if you were watching me-
maybe get a soft lock going.
If someone was watching me, I was trying to skip the Yakuza E-Tank. I'm glad I got the E-Tank, because I would have died if I didn't get it.
You guys want me to move Metroidmaster in here?
I'm trying to find that now.
Too late.
Oh, there it is, actually.
What's up, Metroidmaster?
Hello.
Hey, give me one sec.
Welcome.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, how do you
Sorry,
feel about that?
I feel like it wasn't bad considering I was rusty as all get out.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting to see what my final time was for in-game time and see where that goes.
Yep, you completed the run, so that's always a great thing.
Yep, I did. So
I won.
Then I don't think I saw any safety saves from you.
I did do one safety save just before Nightmare because
Okay.
the last time I did try to practice it, I died to him. So I was like, well, I better make sure that I save so that I don't get wrecked.
Nightmares are ultra tricky until you get really comfortable with them.
Yeah. Shouts to Amarak TV Live.
Oh,
Best
was my
screen
stream
ever.
still on speed? Well, I mean, my stream might as well stay on speedgaming.com because I'm racing again soon.
That's right, you're doing Metroid Prime.
in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're
So,
about to get got. So anything you guys are going to try to focus on one of your next matches?
Probably working on my Nightmare fight because that seemed to have taken the most time out of all of my boss fights. That and just working on getting doubles on my X cores in general.
Yeah.
So it's just something that I need to practice, and it's very different than running my other game Zero missions. So
Yeah. Yep. I
it's
mean,
just a matter of seeing where I end up.
yep. I did a shout out to your Zero mission skills earlier. And then I am excited to see you on the Fusion tournament anyway.
So when are we having a Zero Mission tournament?
I don't know.
I think.
I was about to say, you're not talking to the Zero Mission community right now, so no idea.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I think it was either Eagle or Dragonfin that I was seeing. I think it was on the Speed Gaming chat.
Yep.
Maybe try to get something going after this Fusion.
Oh my god!
After this tournament's done, or probably
guys,
or probably go ahead and start getting into the playing stages now for that.
Oh yeah, I would definitely do that.
Yo, hang on, guys. I finally broke 1 hour. So
Nice.
Sub 1 hour.
wow.
Finally.
Congratulations.
What was your PB?
My PB was 1 hour exact. I got a 59.
Nice,
Very
congrats.
nice. Good job.
Nice.
So
Definitely.
finally sub 1 hour.
Nice.
So I'll definitely have to keep working on that.
Welcome
Nice.
to the club. Exploud, what are you doing to prepare for your next match, which will probably be a beat against me?
Yeah.
How are you going to prepare?
I
Are you
think
going to sabotage my stuff?
yeah, maybe I don't know some I don't know something from really far away from Belgium. Maybe I don't know. But I will try. No, but seriously though, I think my biggest weakness now is my movement.
Hey man, listen.
Most of my bosses are good, but yeah, my movement is pretty not bad,
Honestly-
but could be better.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
that just comes with a lot of experience
Yeah.
too, of, like going through that room and finding ways to go faster. So I mean,
Just play the
Oh
game.
yeah,
a
Yeah.
lot.
I know.
just play the game a lot more, or a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit
my
more
main
and just
focus now,
Look
so
at ways.
Yeah.
Hell, you might probably gonna end up beating me.
I've been running with a shovel for 2 years, so now I need a beam.
All right, well,
But-
I would
Alright.
definitely say follow all 4 of those runners.
I'm guessing it's a bit late to change my prediction to say Exploud beats Herc.
Do it.
A bit too late. Yeah.
too.
Thank you guys for stopping by for the exciting
4
two
hours.
double headers that we had. Then it's time for us to hand it over to the Metroid Prime tournament. So
Alright.
be sure to stick around for that. It's been a fun watch so far that I've seen. And then
Good luck, Kirby.
and then
I
at
might
10
have to pop in for the Prime race myself just to enjoy
and
it.
then after
I'll be
that
too busy playing Federation Force.
see how
Oh, I
many
still got.
Good
Ooh,
game.
I should get some people in on
Best
that.
game
is
ever.
is there just going to be one race today for that, Kirby?
I believe so.
Okay, so there's going to be that one race for
Me
Metroid
versus
Prime.
looks, I think.
Oh, Darko versus Unusual Cooks in the Mystery
And then
Tournament.
Minish Cap will be at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's been an exciting tournament to watch as well. So be sure to come back for that.
It's getting down to the very nitty gritty too. The last couple rounds.
Yeah, so that's been amazing to watch.
Right. I'm gonna be leaving a voice call, but
All right,
and
thanks for
using
stopping
the
by.
restroom. So
And thanks for racing.
yeah,
Thanks for
see you guys around. GG.
Yeah,
Hey,
see
Kirby.
ya.
Alright, but alright.
Yeah, if we gotta hand it off, I might cut my stream, but feel free to follow what have you. I
Already
might,
set up.
Yep.
yeah, I might
Alright.
chat around, but I might come back live later with something. Who knows? So
Alright, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for racing. GG on your PB.
thank you.
Alright.
All right, and I
that's-
will talk to y'all a little bit later.
That's everything we've got on Fiesel. Do you have anything?
Yeah, get out. That's what he's got for us.
All right, and then I do want to take some time to thank Fiesel for accepting our tournament and to restream it for us. He's did a great job on the ladder and great job on helping us with the technical side and some of the other stuff.
It's just awesome all around.
All right.
Time to set up for the mystery tournament race.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
See you, man.